You're going to need 13 packets or 12 tablespoons of unflavored gelatin. I got it all together in the bowl so it would be ready. You're going to need an even cookie sheet, strips of newspaper cut, 3 cups of boiling water, and a big mixing bowl. And this technique, you put the 3 cups of cold water. I forgot to tell you, you need 3 cups of cold water too. You put that in first. You know, when you normally make jelly, you put the hot in, but for this, you put the cold, really cold water in first and stir that up really good. And, you know, until the gelatin's dissolved. And then you're going to add your boiling water to that while you're stirring, which for me was a little difficult because I'm right-handed, but I didn't want to pour the boiling water with my left hand. So I was having a little bit of problem there. Anyway, now you got to pour this gently into your cookie sheet, and look, go in the middle of the cookie sheet. Otherwise, it's going to pour probably all over your counter. I got a little bit on mine. This stuff is really funny in a way because try carrying a cookie sheet from the counter to the fridge. Oh my God, it was hysterical. I should have videotaped that for you. But anyway, this is what you do with the papers. You're going to remove the air bubbles, and you're going to do that just by drawing it lightly across the top. And as you see, the air bubbles just disappear. See, and I did that several times. But let me tell you, be very careful when you're transferring this to your refrigerator, because it'll make a mess if you spill it. Okay, and now you can this is the fun part. You can put whatever you want on the gelatin. Okay, the gelatin's been in the refrigerator and now it's pulled out and it's set and it's firm. And I'm using acrylic inks and a brayer to spread, but I put down a piece of paper. You know, you can use stencils and things like that. Just play around, have a good time with it. That's what I did. I just played and I had so much fun. It's just great. And this thing will last about a week or 2 weeks, I think they said, if you take a real soft damp rag at the end and wipe it down, and then you can put a piece of plastic wrap over it and just stick it back in the freezer, or not freezer, I'm sorry, refrigerator, and it should last about 2 weeks. If you put a drop or so of bleach, I found out later that it would make it last a little longer without getting moldy and stuff. And I suppose when it gets moldy, that's time to get rid of it. But listen, don't dispose of it down your sink, even if you have a garbage disposal, because they say that can, once it gets in the sink and the pipes, it acts like cement, so it will clog it up, and that's going to be a big plumber's bill. So just discard it into the regular garbage can. Now, this was just so much fun. So as you see, I'm just very carefully pressing all over it, all over the paper, and I tell you, I love the coolness of how it feels so cool on your hands. The gelatin itself is very cool from being in the fridge, and it says it will set up in about a 70-degree room, but it's so hot here, people. It's like it's spring. It's March 22nd, and I'm telling you, it's so hot. We had record high temps yesterday, and it's close to that again today. It's like 83, 84 degrees in March. So it's a little strange, but anyway, if you have a very warm room, also your gelatin may begin to, melt. So you have to be careful of that. But if you rinse it down and put it, or pat it down with your real soft rag and put it back in the refrigerator for a while to set up again. So you can do so many prints at one time. Now I love doing the feathers. I thought that was really cool. You can just play around with all sorts of things, and see what happens. There's just no end to this. I'm using acrylic inks here, but I'm going to try it because they're what do you call that? See-through, transparent. But acrylic inks are more opaque, or acrylic paint is more opaque. So I'm going to try the acrylic paint next. I can't wait to try it again. It's so much fun. Oh my goodness, I had a blast. Did like 12 of these. They're very interesting, and you can use them for backgrounds, and also, you know, draw on them later after they're dried, or you can rip them up and add them as collage bits to your paintings, whatever. I mean, there's just all sorts of, well, you know, as artists, there's all sorts of possibilities. So I had a really good time with this. Just wanted to let you know, and give it a try. Oh, the difference between this and doing monoprints from glass is the gelatin is more malleable, so you can actually carve into the gelatin at a later. What I'm doing is I carved into it a tiny bit, but I'm going to kind of, you know, save it, you know, until I get to that point. But I mean, use it up as much as you can. But when you get to the very end of your you know, art making, or print making, you can take like a knife, a small knife, and make cuts into the gelatin, and then the ink or the paint will, you know, gather where the cuts are more, and you'll just come up with all sorts of different textures and looks. So I carved a little bit, but not really deep, or not really, you know, because I was just kind of playing around, but I don't want it to disintegrate yet. So I'll do most of the hard carving when I'm you know, when it gets close to the time when the thing needs to be thrown away. And also, after, you know, this side gets really messed up, if you want to try to get it out of the pan, that's another thing. You're supposed to get it out of the pan, but I didn't. I just used smaller paper, because I figured after the big mess trying to get it into the fridge, I did not want to break it or ruin it, so I wasn't even going to take the chance of taking it out of the pan. And I bought these pans especially for this, because I did have, you know, that big accident, and it was a mess. But anyway, what you can do is, after you're finished and you're almost ready to, you know, this side is just done for, then you can take it out of the pan and flip it over. And if it breaks, don't worry, just cut it up into maybe smaller pieces, and do greeting cards with it or something. And I tried this for some texture, and like I said, I wasn't really ready to press really hard into the gelatin, but I bet this would really look neat if, you know, I'm going to press it really hard in there and get those shapes indented into the gelatin. So you can do these with glass, you know, or just about anything, but I like the idea that you can carve up this gelatin in different ways too, and get different textures. And I really like how those rings turned out. Now that was just a, you know, a thing that kept 3 drink bottles together. I got for my grandsons, and I thought, oh, I'm going to keep that. I can probably use that for something. You know how I am. What can I do with this? Anyway, this was so much fun. Enjoy the rest of the video. I think I've told you everything important. Thanks, people. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching.